What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with Tech Daily, and in this video we are checking out the new Fitbit Ionic, which is really Fitbit's first product that they're stressing is a smartwatch rather than just a traditional fitness tracker like all of their previous products have been. Fitbit has been in the fitness tracking game for a long time now, but they're obviously pretty late to the smartwatch game, and the Ionic is the first product Fitbit has launched since acquiring Pebble too. So I think with this, they're really trying to bridge that gap between just offering basic fitness trackers and not really being considered in the smartwatch space. The Ionic retails for $299 right now, pricier than anything else Fitbit offers. The Fitbit Blaze, which is sort of comparable to this, is still $199, but the Ionic is cheaper than even the 38mm Apple Watch, and I think that is the main product Fitbit competes with right now. And as always, I'll have all the links to the cheapest prices for the Ionic, the Blaze, and some other stuff down below, so be sure to check the links in the description for more information. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything the new Ionic has to offer and see if it might be worth that price tag. The Ionic right now comes in 3 different color options: charcoal/smoke gray, slate blue/burnt orange, and this, which is blue gray/silver gray. And there's also just one size and configuration option with the Ionic, coming in at about 38mm. Inside the box, you get a handful of stuff, including all the necessary paperwork and instructions. Attached to the watch, you have the large wristband, but you also get a complete small wristband you can swap out if you need something tighter. The proprietary charging cable is also included, and I'll touch on charging and battery life a little bit later. As far as the looks, the Ionic rocks a sharp square design with a 6000 grade aluminum housing that sort of resembles the Blaze, but the Ionic looks more polished and complete, and honestly, I think it's either a love it or hate it kind of design. The watch face is about 38mm, like I mentioned, with a screen resolution of 348 by 250 pixels covered in Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so nothing fancy as far as the watch face is concerned. It is primarily a touchscreen interface, and I have to say, I think this is where I was most disappointed. It's totally usable, but it's not exactly snappy or fluid, which is surprising coming from a company like Fitbit. It's just all in all not a great UI to really look at and use, considering what else is on the market. You also have 3 buttons on the side of the watch. The button on the left is a screen on and off button, and on the right you have 2 buttons for selecting different options on the screen. But like I said, you'll primarily be swiping and tapping on most everything that you'll need the watch to do. And even though it is clunky, it's pretty simple and intuitive to use without much instruction. The buttons on the side have a nice texture and are easy to access. The Ionic is only about 12mm thick, so I think it's a nice size in that regard. And on the underside, you'll see the heart rate sensor and the 3 pins up top that are the connectors for charging the watch. The included band is a thick rubber sport band with quite a lot of texture and a really traditional fastener. And I think the band on the Ionic is probably one of the nicer bands across any of the smartwatches or fitness watches, just due to how thick and solid it feels while still being pretty soft and comfortable. It's also easily removable, so like I said, you can swap out the large band for the small one if you need to. And unfortunately, these bands are basically specific to just the Ionic, but there are a lot of other band options from Fitbit and third-party retailers already on the market, and I'll link a few down below too so you can check those out. As far as the overall fit, I think I have sort of a smaller wrist than most guys my size, but the large band was fine for my purposes. The watch is very easy to take on and off and is very comfortable to wear as well. It's light and slim, and again, the look and design might not be for everyone, but it's obviously going to look primarily like a smartwatch or a fitness watch. The screen tops out at 1000 nits of brightness, which means that outside in direct sunlight or with glare from the shade, the Ionic is still very visible and easily usable. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but in person it actually looked even better and brighter than this, and the auto brightness that transitions from indoor and outdoor settings was spot on. So even though Fitbit wants the Ionic to be a smartwatch, I'll focus on the fitness features first, since I think the Ionic will attract hardcore Fitbit users more than anyone else who are used to utilizing these devices specifically for workouts. Now, the Ionic continually tracks steps, heart rate, and calories burned throughout the day, and that information is provided front and center on the main watch face. You can also go deeper into your daily statistics and see how many miles you've moved, stairs you've climbed, and more. And these totals are both for casual daily movement and also whatever workouts you might have had. As far as specific exercise tracking, the Ionic has a lot of options, including running, biking, swimming, treadmill workouts, workouts, weights, interval training, and a general workout tracker. And yes, I did say swimming. The Ionic is water resistant up to 50 meters deep and can track lap counts, duration, and calories even in the pool. There's also a couple preloaded workouts in the Coach app, nothing too fancy or intense, but it's nice to at least get a breakdown of some guided workouts if you need a little more structure or assistance. I'll go a little more in-depth with workout tracking in just a second, but as far as the other apps, the Ionic has some guided relaxation and breathing, simple timers and alarms, and weather. And under the Smartwatch umbrella, you can also make payments via NFC with the Ionic by adding a credit card or your Starbucks card, and you also have access to the Strava app if you use that for cycling or running. To go more in depth with your daily activity or workouts, you need to sync the Ionic to the Fitbit app, which is available on iOS and Android. And if you've used any Fitbit in the past, you'll already be familiar with everything this app has to offer. At a glance, you'll be able to analyze steps, calories, and heart rate, keep track of your daily activity and workouts. The Ionic can also function as a sleep tracker, and you can go through the previous days or week's stats and information to make comparisons and keep track of any and all progress you might be making. The in-depth statistics can be broken down even by the hour. So you can see, for example, when your heart rate increased during your workout and when you were resting, and you can even go as far as tracking complete meals and get a breakdown of approximate calories and macros to really keep track of everything that you need to. There's also some challenges and goals you can try out to encourage you to try something new or keep up with your daily or weekly fitness goals. And there's also even more guided workouts right in the app. So if you need ideas or if you like trying something new, you have access to a whole bunch of stuff. Touching a bit more on the smartwatch side of things, there's also a bunch of different ways to access music on the Ionic. You can, of course, utilize the general music controls if you're playing something through Apple Music or Spotify, for example, but you also have 2.5 gigabytes of onboard storage, so using the Fitbit desktop app, you can transfer 300 songs directly to the watch. And then you can use a pair of Bluetooth earbuds like the Fitbit Flyers, for example, and leave your phone at home. And you also have Pandora right on the watch as well. As far as notifications go, this is where the Ionic really lacks more smartwatch capabilities, I think. You're going to get text and call notifications, of course, but there's no speaker or microphone and no keyboard either, so you can't do anything with notifications. They're read and dismiss only, which is very unfortunate. I think the most underrated feature on the Ionic, though, is the fact that it has onboard GPS, which is something devices like the Apple Watch still lack. So you really can leave your phone at home, and the Ionic will track runs, for example, a lot more accurately than smartwatches without built-in GPS. Without GPS, those other smartwatches need to rely on the phone via Bluetooth to ensure their accuracy, but that's not the case with the Ionic. Another area the Ionic really shines is battery life. You can pretty much get 4 to 5 days of battery life on a single charge with normal use. If you're constantly using GPS or have the screen always on, it's obviously not going to be that good, but it's still going to last quite a bit longer than most smartwatches right now. And that's also good because, in all honesty, charging this thing is somewhere between annoying and a little sad. The proprietary charger is not only not that practical, but it isn't very secure. Not sure why Fitbit chose to go this route when the Blaze had that nice cradle, but it is what it is. So for $299, would I recommend the Fitbit Ionic? If you are deep in the Fitbit ecosystem already, if you want to go one more step above the Fitbit Blaze, if you aren't all that concerned with the smartwatch functionality and focus more on fitness, then sure, it's a pretty good deal all things considering. GPS is a big feature. Over 4 days of battery life is a big feature. The super bright screen is better than a lot of smartwatches. Is the style going to be for everyone? No. Is the clunky UI disappointing? Definitely. But I think all in all, it's still a pretty good purchase for a very specific group of people. And considering just how many Fitbit Blazes I see, which is a surprising amount, I think I'll see a lot of people using the Fitbit Ionic too in the future. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of the Ionic in the comments below. Also, be sure to follow Tech Daily on Twitter and subscribe to the Tech Daily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.